Just before we get started, guys. Give me a second. All right, man. What a morning we just woke up to. Got my coffee. We're here ready to talk about Marc Cucurella has absolutely let out a bombshell of quotes that we need to talk about, man. Enzo and now him have now spoken out basically against the ownership. And I'm going to go ahead and read it from my phone, and then I'll pull over to Twitter, and then we'll go over like quotes individually to really talk about what's going on at the club. So I have it here on my phone, right, from Fabrizio Romano, and this was told to the Athletic. So journalists like David Ornstein are linked with these cats, right? So the moment Enzo Maresca left, it had a huge impact on us. These are decisions taken by the club. If you asked me, I would have not made this decision. To make a change like that, the best thing is to wait until the end of the season. I understand this is part of the club's policy and they want to take this direction, signing young players and looking to the future. But for all of us who are still here and want to win big things, moments like the PSG game make you feel discouraged. We needed more. We have a good core of players here at Chelsea, and they do. Like they have good players in the squad, right? And the foundation are there. But to fight for the big trophies such as the Premier League or the Champions League, you need more. And you do. You absolutely need more. You need balance among players. Signing young players might only make it complicated achieving those goals. We knew what Enzo Maresca wanted from us always. Winning a title like the Club World Cup also helps. You create great relationships during those celebrations, and you do. When a manager gives you that confidence and so he offers you a platform to fight for titles, you die for him. The instability around the club comes from this in a nutshell. We had a caretaker first, then a new manager with new ideas and no time to work on them. I'm sure Liam Rossini's football ideas are good, but we don't have time to train them. That is a lot of information, bro. And we can dive into this first part here, right? I mean, I'm going to go section by section on this because there's just a lot to talk about, man. Like, players of his caliber are speaking out, and there's also people on this platform right now that are saying, sell him. You guys are part of the fucking problem on why this club is continuously going south. You guys are supporting what BlueCo are doing. If you're over here saying you need to sell certain players because they're speaking out against the ownership, which is the main problem at the club, then you guys are part of the problem that BlueCo are bringing into the club. You guys are enabling activity like this, man. You guys really are. And it's getting really, really annoying. Like, I can't begin to explain how stupid half of you guys look on this platform right now. So we can dive into this, right? We have a good core of players. The foundations are there. But to fight for major trophies such as the Premier League or the Champions League, you need more. You do need more. You signed him as one of the, when he came to the club, it was what, 2022, 2023, the horrible season we had. He's going on his fourth season with us, and he's been proven to be one of the key players in the squad. And there's people on this platform, right? If I switch over here, right? We go over here to Nino 12. Cucurella thinks this interview is going to solve anything. You're just going to give BlueCo a perfect excuse to get rid of you. They believe in their project and will defend it by getting rid of anything that stands in the way, and they will. They've done it with managers. They've done it with players. It is what it is. But when key players in their project start to speak on it, it's bad. It's bad press for them, man. It's a bad look for them, and they don't want that. And he's saying that in all of this, I feel sorry for Liam Rossini. If his job wasn't already difficult enough, having two key players openly come out and say they miss the old manager is damning. Yeah, it's a damning indictment on the current manager and the ownership. It has nothing to do with Enzo Maresca. Absolutely nothing to do with him. Because you had a group of players that were playing for him. And now, because he decided to speak out, he's gone. And now players are feeling like a shell of themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and all that stuff because you get rid of a guy that instilled belief in them. Everybody that's like this guy Nino right here, right? You're part of the problem. You make great content on YouTube, bro. You really do. But when it comes to putting your opinion out here about certain things going on at the club, you got it completely wrong, bro. You've absolutely got it completely wrong, man. To say to sell him is crazy. For what? Speaking out? Of course he wants to leave. Why wouldn't he want to leave? Our club is in a shambles, man. They are. Marc Cucurella against PSG. We lacked players that had gone through situations like that. You need time. I know the young players are the ones that will have the experience in the future, but you also need to find a balance between both worlds. How many times has everybody in this fan base said we need to get experience in this club? How many times have I said that? How many times have the bigger personalities with Chelsea, how many times have they said that? It's common sense. Why did we win the Champions League in 2021? A lot of people say it was luck, but my thing is they had a perfect blend of youth and experience in there. They want to ever touch one of these two trophies again, the Champions League or the Premier League, they need that experience. And Marc Cucurella is out here exposing that. He's exposing the model right there for everyone to see. As if we already didn't know, a player coming out and saying these things is even more damning on the ownership. Even more damning. Right? The moment Enzo Maresca left, it had a big impact on us. If you ask me, I would not have made this decision to make a change like that. The best thing is to wait until the end of the season. And that's what this ownership said originally, was they were going to review his position at the end of this season. But because Enzo Maresca has a pair of balls in between his legs and a backbone, he wasn't going to take any more shit. He wanted more control over which players were able to come in, and he asked for certain positions, and they didn't give it to him. After doing what the ownership asked him to do last season, he exceeded it, and you can't give him a control of a few players that he wants to see come to the club that can improve the squad and help you guys actually make more money. But when you're stuck in your ways and you know you're in the shit, in the gutter, you're acting out of desperation. And anybody that speaks out against this ownership is going to be axed immediately. So they probably will sell Enzo. They probably will sell Marc Cucurella in the summer. They won't offer them new contracts. After speaking out, they're not going to offer them new contracts. And the contract dispute between Enzo and the Chelsea ownership is going to get even more difficult. Sorry, my girlfriend came in. She's going to go take care of some stuff real quick. I love that girl to death. But anyways, going back to, I mean, we all knew what he wanted from us. Winning a title like the Club World Cup also helps. You create great relationships during these celebrations. When a manager gives you that confidence and offers you a platform to fight for titles, you die for him. And you will. These players were playing for this guy. None of these players are playing for Liam Sr., bro. And it was evident from the first day that he walked in. He sounded almost too perfect when he was talking about, oh, this club is so great, it's so prestigious, I want to bring this club back to the glory days. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say when you're a new manager coming into this club. It's only criticized more because of who the ownership is, and all they base their shit on is PR, bro. Anything to get the fans back on side, but the fans are just fucking tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. Liam Senior is a very good person and has been great at handling the group, the characters. He likes to stay close to us, and his football ideas are good, but we don't have time to train on them. I mean, that's the only thing I say, is that he came in at the wrong time, and he doesn't have enough time to implement his tactics with this team, there's no shot, bro. There's absolutely no shot. So what I'm trying to figure out is why did we sack Enzo Maresca in the first place? And there's gonna be people watching, people on here saying, bro, you keep on saying like we needed to keep him. We did need to keep him. I mean, when you got motherfuckers like this guy right here, a big YouTuber, big Chelsea YouTuber, right, saying he's actually getting fucking depressed with the state of his channel, right? These stupid, baseless brown envelope shill comments from guys that learned the word last week. All I say is, how can you realistically think this board is going to sell the club overnight to who? To fucking who, bro? Change on this level will take 1 to 2 years, and then who's buying a club that can't secure stadium sponsors or nothing for more than what, $4 billion? Oh, mate, but you got to chill. But you got to call them out because the directors just do what they're told in it. This is the fucking state of this limited conversation. I mean, I've never, like, I'll be honest, Nini has never been a guy that's backed BlueCo or the board. So I disagree with, or I agree with the whole concept of people are getting on him for just putting out a message and putting out his videos. And my problem with people attacking him is all he's doing is just spreading the information that we need to know as fans that don't have the same platform as him to get the message out about what's going on at the club. But he's right. It's not gonna be overnight where this club is gonna be sold. My theory is that they're gonna have enough and they're gonna look to sell over the summer, and then it will take some time to find a buyer, get everything back to how it used to be, because Chelsea need an owner in there that actually cares about the sport and cares about the players and cares about the fans, because the fans just feel slighted. We don't know what the hell's going on at the club. When you're buying all these young players and there's no intention to buy anybody over the age of 27, then this fan base has nothing to look forward to. So, I mean, there's a lot that needs to be done over the summer. See, Marc Cucurella became a Chelsea legend today. I would never talk bad about him again. Despite what I think of him as a player, he directly called out the board in Clear Lake. He's BlueCo out. Now their own players are publicly shaming their disgusting project. So this guy here has the agenda against Enzo Fernandez, in my opinion. Just like a lot of other people on this platform that think that he's one of the major issues at the club. He's not an issue at the club. He walked into the club when we were shit, and he's still here when we're shit. That has nothing to do with him. That has everything to do with BlueCo, with Clear Lake, with Igbali, with Viz, Boley, all of these motherfuckers, bro. This is who it's all about. It's not about the players, because the players are being directly affected by how the club is being ran. And this is why you're seeing Enzo wanting out. Cole Palmer is going to want out. Cucurella now seems like he wants to go to fucking Barcelona, bro. To Barcelona, bro. Of all the teams you can go to, you want to go to Barca, bro. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about here. You have key players wanting to leave because the ownership is terrible. I never thought in my lifetime I would have to go through seeing one of my favorite teams have ownership issues. And it happens to be the club or the team I support the most in my life. This is the team that has to go through these issues because American owners, my nationality, can't get shit together. It's a fucking disgrace, bro. It's a fucking disgrace. And you see this in the NBA. You see this in Major League Baseball, where you have terrible ownerships that don't care about winning. The Pittsburgh Pirates are a perfect example in Major League Baseball, where the owners have publicly said they're fine with being mediocre. I can be 81 and 81 and still, make enough money to get over the threshold of whatever their bargaining agreement is over there, bro. But at the end of the day, this doesn't work in professional football. It never has. It never has. So yeah, Marc Cucurella is a hero. A player speaking out is huge. Enzo speaking about how much he wants to live in Madrid. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you asked him a question about the ownership, and it was already asked about his feelings about Enzo Maresca departing, that goes hand in hand with what Marc Cucurella just spoke on this morning. You got two players, two important key players, leaders in the dressing room, Some would argue some of the heart and soul of this team are speaking out against the project. And you got people saying, sell him, sell Enzo, sell Caicedo. Why? When they're speaking out against the exact thing that the fans are talking about. So are we gonna start shaming him? Are we gonna keep on shaming Enzo Fernandez and shit? It's ridiculous, bro. The fan base needs to come together instead of attacking these fucking players. Yes, the players haven't been playing well, but that has everything to do with what's going on upstairs, the change in management, and they wanted to play for a guy that was giving them the identity that this team desperately needed. No Chelsea fan, no football fan can tell me that this team had an identity before Enzo Maresca got here. And they have one after. Their identity now is huddling around the damn center circle and complaining to the fucking referee every single time they can see a fucking goal, bro. Like, that's what we're talking about here. You have some experience in the squad. They're not shipping 38 goals in 31 games. I can promise that. They are one of the worst defensive teams this season. It doesn't show that with the amount of goals they've conceded, because terrible defensive teams that concede 60, 70 goals. They've conceded 38 goals in the league, and I don't know how many in Europe, but it's definitely over 50. That's not a solid back line. It never has been. Levi Colwell, if he was there, I think we would be a little bit better, but this team needs a major overhaul in defense. Outside of Reece James and the guy you see on screen here, there's nobody in Levi Colwell. There's nobody in that back line that I am convinced by. That should tell you everything you need to know. And we keep on buying these young center halves that aren't going to see the first team. Aaron Anselmino is one of them. Like, you're probably never going to see him wear a Chelsea shirt. And this is why this ownership group needs to get out. Say they sell Cucurella and they sell Enzo and they sell Palmer, right? You're probably getting in excess of 200, maybe you're probably getting close to 300 million for the three of them, because he's not going to be worth 100 million, but Palmer is going to be worth over 130 million. Enzo Fernandez will be close to probably 110 to 115. They're not going to use that money in the right areas. They're just not. But there was also something about Graham Potter I saw, man, that was players want to win. Buy players and hire managers that align with the idea of winning it, and everyone will have a problem and will be patient. Don't do that, and the players will eventually pack up, force their way out to somewhere that does. It's really that simple. Exactly. Exactly. Bring in Boley is the only one on the board who wants to win, and they silence him because he has ambition. We need to back Boley. I mean, he needs to go too. As much as he has the ambitions to win, he needs to go too. Like, realistically, I wouldn't mind having him, but the problem is that he doesn't know how to spend the money in the right areas. He's ambitious enough to go get the players that he feels like he needs, but he doesn't spend it in the right areas. So that's why he has to go as well. And like the whole scandal with the ticketing and all that, he has a huge part in that. Vivid Seats is owned by Todd Bowley. And there's a whole scandal with that right now. So yeah, I mean, he's got to go too. Like, they're making it almost impossible for people that want to go to the bridge that have never been there before, not want to go. I've never been out to England. I've never been to London. But my dream is to go to Stamford Bridge one day and actually see this team play. But why would I go in the state that this team is in right now and waste my money to go see that? I'm not trying to support this. I'll watch it on TV. I don't care. But in terms of buying merchandise, attempting to go to a game out there one day, until this ownership group leaves, I'm not going to a game. I'm just not. And I hate saying that because it's my dream to go there. I think the owners are listening to what the fans and ex-players and journalists and now players are saying. Now it doesn't matter if they're listening. Now it's too late. It's too late. It's been broken, bro. Enzo started a revolution on the model, and our fans hated on him. I mean, he did start it. He spoke out about how the departure of Enzo Maresca affected the entire dressing room. That's not by accident. All this talk about he wants to go to Madrid and, he's closer to Real Madrid than Rodri is, right? I don't think if he really wanted to move to Madrid, he's speaking out about how much it affected the dress. I feel like he wants to stay, but if it gets even worse, then like I said, he's going to be gone in the summer. I feel like he wants to stay at the club. He wants to win with Chelsea, but if the ambitions don't match what he wants, then he has to leave. Then he's going to want to go. I think selling him would be one of the biggest mistakes you could make in the past, I don't know, 5 to 6 years. And there's been plenty of mistakes. This would be one of the biggest ones if you decide to sell him. You'll get an amazing transfer fee for him, but that's about it. That's about it. Yeah. By the time all of our star players are gone, we'll be left with Tosin, Badiashile, Sarr, Delap, Hato, Garnacho, and Jorgensen. Yeah. We're going to be in 16th in like 2 seasons, boys. You can leave easily upgradable. Hato is literally better at this current moment. I swear. Like the baselessness. The baselessness of these comments, bro, is just crazy to me, dude. Hato's been decent, but come on, man. Romelu Lukaku did not answer to Napoli's call-up to be back for training today. The club is considering how to act with disciplinary measures, evaluating also. Bro, what else is new? Do you see why he's had issues staying at a club consistently for more than a couple seasons? As Eunice famously says, this guy. It's unbelievable. Who will win the Premier League? Edison says it's going to be City. I mean, listen, Arsenal cannot drop any points, but we play City in the next league game. I think that's probably 3 points for Man City, but we'll see. Marc Cucurella, don't know what he has done for our fan base. Yes. And like, this is the important thing here. Do you understand what he did for the fan base? Marc Cucurella is paying attention to what we are saying online, boys. Like, he is paying attention and he's in the firing line and he knows what's going on at the club because he is there. You don't think these players are paying attention to what we're talking about on here? Honestly, they all have Twitter, they all have Instagram, they all have social media. You don't think they're taking a peek at what's going on? They're human. They got free time. You don't think they're paying attention? Marc Cucurella knows exactly what he is doing. And I'm sure he's aware of the protest on the 18th as well. This is what I'm saying. Players are starting to go against the board. What is the board going to do? Sell every single player in this squad? They won't have a team. Then you're forced to call up all these academy kids, and then Chelsea will be back almost like how it was in 2019. Half the team is academy graduates. Yeah, we got top 4 that season, but is anybody saying Chelsea will get top 4 with the development squad? I don't think so. I don't think so. Marc Cucurella is out here being the voice for the fans inside of Cobham. Insane. He has spoken for us. He did nothing. If you're taking this as a problem, you need to see a doctor. Yeah, Chelsea is full of idiots. I mean, like, a lot of the fans on here are idiots, bro. And a lot of them that actually have like a good following on here, bro, are just making themselves look worse and worse every single time to defend something like this. I'd lose all respect for Rossini as a man, let alone coach, if he starts Cucurella or Enzo again this season. I mean, who are you starting in front of them, really? Liam Rossini has a job to do at the end of the day, right? His job is to try to get this team into the Champions League. If not, then he's going to probably get axed. They're saying he's safe until 2027. Realistically, if the results go south even more, then he's going to get axed at the end of the season. And then who did Chelsea go up for after that? Spurs just hired, what's his name? Right? And it's like, I wouldn't have wanted him here, but for fuck's sake. Like, a De Zerbi going to be an absolute circus. But the difference with Roberto De Zerbi and Liam Rossini, bro, Roberto De Zerbi is more qualified. I mean, it's just like this team, man. They got to figure it out. Like, they really do. I think it will really only hurt the owners, the fact that a senior player has come out and questioned them and the strategy. I think the owners are listening to what fans and ex-players and journalists are now, and now players are saying, I think they're listening. I don't think, I mean, he's the spokesperson for fucking BlueCo. I don't think they'll make changes to the strategy, but maybe tweak it a little, make some changes. I mean, it's over with, man. It doesn't matter if they want to make changes to their strategy or not. They can't. There's no money. There's no money. They got it. We're sell to buy right now. We're sell to buy. When have Chelsea been in the position to sell and buy? Really? There's generally some type of money available to spend. It's ridiculous, man. But there was a post from Graham Potter I saw, bro, that was actually insane. Because you even have him coming out and saying some shit about Chelsea, and it's crazy. How do you spell this motherfucker's name? Okay. So I wanted to
put to a place and change it that quick.
I don't know.
I think Chelsea was the hardest job in football, and not that I couldn't do it, but if you go in and you take a sledgehammer to a place and change it that quickly, sometimes there'll be collateral damage. I don't think the conditions were there for us to be successful. They were there to be really challenging. If you change 20, 30 players in 2 or 3 windows, the instability of that is hard to deal with. It's my job as a coach to improve what we've got. As it was, we took a different decision, which is another 7 players, and then you're like, okay, we've got to start again here.
Can I ask you about your relationship with the people that appointed you then, the owners?
I went from Brighton, which is Tony Blue, leadership structure, to me, and then owners and LA on a Zoom call at Chelsea. Pressure. That's the brutal nature of football. If they don't think you're the right person, you're out, and that hurt a little bit, I must admit.
A little bit?
A lot, of course.
Yeah. With total honesty, all your cards on the table, where do you now feel, if you went in again, you would operate differently?
There's no way he comes back. But we don't know how, the legitimacy of this, honestly. But what I will say is that if this interview is real, what an interview that was, really. Or, what a clip that was. Right? To go from Tony Bloom, and people don't want to compare Chelsea to Brighton, but that's exactly what these owners want to do, is have the Brighton model, right? But when he said that you're on a Zoom call with the owners in LA and all they're talking about is pressure, 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 and then they bring in 7 more players that don't fit what Graham Potter needed at the time, right? This is worse than when Graham Potter was here because you don't see a turnaround coming anytime soon, for one. And we had a brilliant start under Graham Potter. I remember when people were saying, "Oh, check out Potter ball, bro. It's actually doing something. We're actually beating teams. We're going to AC Milan and we're beating them 3-0 or whatever, right?" But that same season, we get absolutely ripped up by everybody because the change in ownership affected everything. You were just buying players to buy players. There was no chemistry in the squad. You had players playing out of position. You had a 40-year-old Thiago Silva still there as your best player, basically. Marc Cucurella speaking out and saying all these quotes, man, should be giving the fan base a lot more to actually feel confident about, man. Like, feel confident about getting this ownership group out, because now that players are saying something, we should be able to get them out. We should continue to push for this. We should have handled it better. There was a return leg, go back to London with a 3-2 defeat. Anything can happen. But we can make a mistake, try to attack with that clear structure. Then PSG took the chance and finished us off. Yeah. Like, when you're tied 2-2 in Paris, and I'll be real, they didn't play bad for 75 minutes in that game. They were playing, honestly, better than PSG in that game. The problem was that you're fucking around with the ball at the back too much. You're trying to play out of the back. Vitinha snatches the ball and lofts it over Jorgensen. Then you're thinking, okay, it's 3-2. We can take this back to London. And, we can turn this tie around because we're playing at the Bridge. It's a European night, and the fans aren't going to allow this team to lose to PSG at home. No. It was one of the worst defeats this team has had in the past 15 years. I said the past 15 years. I think it's worse than the game they went to Man City and lost 6-0, when they lost to Bayern Munich at the Bridge and away to them. That PSG result, the 3-0 at the Bridge, is the worst result I've seen in a very long time, because you can sense, and I wasn't even at the Bridge. I could feel it through the TV. There was just a sense of gloom and doom and darkness around the Bridge that night. It just felt like everything was gonna go south so quickly, and it did. PSG scored early, they scored again after that, and then they got the third one. That's all they needed. We're so far off from being at that level. As long as these owners are here, and this ownership group and this manager is still here, they're gonna continue to be in this fucking position every single fucking time. Every single season, they will be in and around that top 8, not being able to get into Europe, and then in a few more seasons, they'll be right where Tottenham is, struggling to stay in the Premier League. You heard it here first. It's getting ridiculous, man. See, Reece James backs Marc Cucurella after his statement. Well done, Cuckoo. I mean, your club captain is starting to confirm shit. These owners are going to have to get out, bro. What are you going to do? Sell Reece James too? That would actually cause a riot. See this right here. Terry on Enzo Fernandez and Marc Cucurella in the recent interviews about joining Real Madrid and Barca. Chelsea isn't the club it used to be. Pedro, Cesc Fabregas, Claude Makelele, and Samuel Eto'o all left Barcelona and Madrid to play for Chelsea. Back then, players didn't have to say no to Chelsea, but today, players want to leave Chelsea for La Liga, and it feels like the club's name is fading. It is. It absolutely is. Those players all left to come to Chelsea to come play. Now it's the other way around. You could say it started with Eden Hazard going from Chelsea to Real Madrid, but once these owners took over, a lot of players are looking to go play for these clubs, particularly at this club, or they're just trying to go to a team that has more ambition. So John Terry's absolutely right. See, but then John Obi Mikel's here taking shots at Enzo, but it's like, come on, bro. Like, of course he's gonna say stuff like this, right? The club's a joke right now. Roberto De Zerbi is in as new Tottenham coach until June 2031. I thought it was gonna be Poch, but I am delighted to be joining this fantastic football club, which is one of the biggest and most prestigious in the world. Yeah, that's PR, bro. Bro, all that's gonna really happen here is they probably do stay up. He's getting paid $12 million a year also, which is crazy. That's what they were paying Graham Potter when he came to Chelsea. It's insane. $12 million a year for Roberto De Zerbi. The guy that plays one way, quick passing, likes to get up the pitch very quickly. But if you intercept one of his passes while he's trying to attack, he leaves himself wide open. His teams leave themselves wide open, and they will ship goals. But his team will also score goals too. It's just a matter of how can his team outscore your team. That's how he's going to end up playing. But he doesn't have the right players in this team to really play the way that he wants, honestly. You can label Enzo and Cucurella as bad apples, just like you can label Pochettino and Maresca as bad apples. At some point, you are just ignoring mounting evidence. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, this was on 420 last year. I remember that shit. Like, I was in the hotel room when this happened. Screamed my ass off, had people telling me to shut up and shit because of this goal right here. But that's what I'm saying. These players wanted to play for Enzo Maresca, bro. I don't think it could be stressed enough that they made one of the worst decisions since Thomas Tuchel by actually getting rid of him. Like, that's what it's all about, bro. I'm all about, when I watch games, I'm all about the fans in the background, bro. Like how wild they're getting, how geek they're getting and shit. And like, that's everything. That's absolutely everything because it makes the shot, it makes the moment that much better. Like, how often are you seeing Cole Palmer get that excited, bro, off a goal? Really? Like, did anybody peep that? How excited he gets? I always pay attention to the players' reactions when they score goals to see how much they actually care about the goal going in. And this right here clearly changed their season around. They have an opportunity to do the same thing. But are they going to do it? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It was that shit. But Pedro Neto is just an interesting character, man. I mean, I'm telling you, bro, I miss that iteration of the team right there, bro. Because they were ruthless, man. They were ruthless. They didn't care because they knew they knew what they needed to do to get the top four, and they did it. But this season, you don't see that coming. First, they sacked Thomas Tuchel and replaced him with Graham Potter. Can't remember the last time Chelsea made the top four, and the only manager who tried to do that under this manager was Maresca. The board sacked him even after winning 2 trophies. Now the players can't even hide anymore, and they're cooking the board during the interview. Yeah. They got absolutely cooked, bro. Like, these vibes are not there anymore. like the vibes aren't there anymore, man. Like, what happened? Enzo Maresca, and it's like I keep saying, yeah. I was saying this too. He said stuff about the ownership and the departure of Maresca before Cucurella even came out and said shit. I covered it in my streams and my shorts and everything, bro. Like, he's saying he does understand. And the thing is, people think that it's mistranslated. You're not gonna mistranslate, or he's not gonna misunderstand something when you're asking him in his native tongue, in his native language. He's not gonna misunderstand you. So he knows exactly what he's saying, and he knows exactly what the question was. So for people saying that it's AI, like, no, this is legit for one, and two, he's not gonna misunderstand something that he's asked in Spanish. I don't think that's possible. For a player that speaks Spanish naturally, I don't think it's possible. And everything he said was absolutely right. I mean, him saying he wants to live in Madrid doesn't help his cause, but again, I think he's more frustrated with contract negotiations. And I think him saying that is trying to get Chelsea to be like, look, just pay me and then I'm not going to go anywhere. But obviously, every player's dream is to go play in Madrid, honestly. Oh, so now we're starting to back him a little bit with it looks like he's had enough, huh? All of a sudden, now you want to start saying he's had enough. It's been a scam, bro. But you need to look at the freaking board instead of the players. The players are exposing what is going on, and that's where we need to really pay attention to this. Cucurella went in on the board, Enzo threatening to leave. All we need now is for Reece to man up and speak out about it publicly too. The thing is, Reece James had an open letter to the fans about, just staying patient and all this stuff. How can you go on Marc Cucurella's page after that, comment and say, well said? Like I said, the Reece James open letter, a lot of that felt like it was PR. Yeah, I mean, I think it is clear that he's not necessarily bashing Liam Rosenior, but Liam Rosenior has to go too. But Liam Rosenior, like, it's not his fault. It's like a lot of people keep saying he's irrelevant in this situation right now. Should he have gotten the job in the first place? No. But he's irrelevant because the owners brought him in to try to solve this mess when you already had a guy that probably would have got through this already. This is exactly what we need more players to do. Come out and speak the truth. Pressure from fans, pressure from the players. Yeah. Because the players are going to be the things that actually exposes what the project is supposed to be. And if they're not backing the project, investors are going to back out. Right. So we bring this up, right? And I keep on telling people this about Enzo. Are we really paying attention to his game, or are we just picking out like the bad moments that he has? So I was saying this. The dude has 11 goals for a number 8, right? Are you expecting Enzo Fernandez to be a 25 plus goal scorer? No. Right? 11 goals, 8 assists in the rankings. I think João Pedro has more goals, but the point is here, the guy is top 3 in almost every single metric, in every single category for this team. And people are saying he's having a bad season. Moises Caicedo is not having as good a season as him right now. And you couldn't tell me otherwise. Moises Caicedo is not having the same season as Enzo Fernandez. We haven't seen Moises Caicedo since he got sent off against Arsenal. We just haven't. We haven't seen this team since that Arsenal game. And if you really want to be harsh, since they absolutely destroyed Barcelona. We haven't seen this team since. And it's not by accident either. The sporting directors failed Maresca by not reacting to Colwell's injury with the purchase. You cannot have a whole season using backups as starters. He then messed up by flirting with City. Everyone shares the blame. Everyone needs to learn from this. Yeah, I mean, Enzo Maresca over here talking to Man City, if he was or not. I mean, that's not good for you, but could you imagine if you just got him the players that he actually asked for, especially when Levi Colwill went down? You're probably not dealing with him saying or speaking out, honestly. But I think at some point he probably would have gotten really frustrated. If we were in this position with him still being here, he would have probably would have spoken out way earlier. And he did already. Now he's not there because, people up top aren't really helping me out as much as they should. I'm paraphrasing that, but essentially that's what he's saying. I'm not getting help from the people above me. And was gone, what, 2.5 weeks later? A week later? I mean, it's insane stuff, bro. It's insane stuff we have here, man. I mean, I'm glad Marc Cucurella said something, bro. I really do. So you're telling me Alejandro Balde is available because Barcelona need pure profit. Cucurella would love a homecoming back there, swap deal, bro. The Balde is nice, but come on, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, we're over here trying to sell players because they're speaking out. Yeah, when Enzo Fernandez called out the board for sacking Maresca, Chelsea fans focused on the part where he said he doesn't know about his future and made him look bad, even saying they'd boo him. Now they're praising Cucurella for doing the same thing Enzo did first. There's criticism and then there's an agenda. Whatever Enzo Fernandez does, it's never seen as right. And like, this is what I'm talking about here, man. Like, this is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. And I'm going to take this off so I can have my full face here. Like, this is what I'm talking about here. What is the agenda against this guy? Honestly, like, what is the agenda? He did the same thing last week, essentially questioning why Enzo Maresca got sacked, why there aren't experienced players in the squad, and where the ambition is at, right? And when he's asked about his future, he's uncertain because he doesn't know what direction this club is going in. So, of course, he's going to have questions about, should I stay here or should I look to move to Real Madrid, where I know I'm going to be in the Champions League every season and I'll have a chance to win silverware, which is the most important thing to every footballer's career, is how many pieces of silverware are on your CV at the end of your career. That's what you're judged by. And all the Ballon d'Ors. Enzo's not going to win a Ballon d'Or, but I'm saying individual accolades and team accolades going on your CV is everything. The agenda against Enzo Fernandez is absolutely ridiculous. He did the same thing Marc Cucurella did earlier. Where's the hatred for him? Like, where's all the shit talking to him? But then people are saying, well, there are people doing that. They're saying to sell him. Why sell him? Like you're only helping out what BlueCo wants to do. If you're saying to sell, you want to keep your best players around, because how are you supposed to achieve anything if you continuously sell your best players to just make mega money, and then you're not using it in the right fucking areas? It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the agenda for Enzo is outrageous, bro. I don't agree with it. Not because he's one of my favorite players on the team, but I just feel like if this was anybody else in world football that was going through this kind of thing, I think I would have the same energy. I would have the same exact energy, man. I'm telling you, because a lot of these players do not need to be getting the abuse they get, bro. Yeah, okay. But yeah, man. I mean, there's no belief. I got to take a look at this, because I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Vince on here. Yeah, it's this guy right here. Okay, so they were saying something about how he was criticizing Enzo Fernandez and shit. And then Real Madrid consider Enzo Fernandez signing impossible this summer. He will cost over 100 million, and Real Madrid will absolutely not pay that. I mean, I've said that. Like, are they going to actually come in and pay the money for him? I don't think they will. Like, I genuinely think, I don't think they will. Now, if he pushes for the move and Real Madrid can get him at like 80, 90 million, then he'll probably do it. But he's not moving for for less than 100 million. But I still think he goes in the summer. Bro, I mean, if I'm being real, I'm not seeing where he was talking about Enzo here. He is being intentional because he knows what he's doing. He wants to win. Like, that's the moral of the story. These players are tired of seeing all the negative press and shit, bro. I don't know, man. I'm not going to go snoop on this guy's page forever and just do all the extra shit. But at the end of the day, man, this is probably the last thing I'll read here before I get out of here. When Enzo started doing those interviews, I was mad at him, especially because of the timing and how unnecessary it was. Now I understand him. If he wants to leave, I'm fine with it. We all blame Kane for staying at Spurs for too long. If your club doesn't have ambition, you're better off leaving them for the sake of your career. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Look at this. Ex-players liking Fabrizio Romano's post on Cucurella's quote. So I'm saying a lot of these players already knew, bro. It's taken 2 players over the past half to really expose what's going on. I don't know if that quote is real, honestly, but he does need to stop talking, and he needs to let no one lie to you. Elliot Anderson, or Enzo's replaceable. You're not replacing him with any of those 4 players. I will say this. I think he is bold enough to actually speak. If Reece James comes out now and he says something, I think that's when these owners are going to really be shitting their pants. But yeah, man, I'm going to get out of here. I got to start getting my day started. But I appreciate everybody watching, people that jumped in, engaged, all that stuff. I really appreciate this. How do you place this? It's impossible. Yeah, he had 22 all of last season and already has 23 this season. Crazy, right? All right. Yeah, but all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get my day started and all that. But yeah, I appreciate everyone watching. Again, Marc Cucurella speaks on the entire ownership. Absolutely insane stuff here, guys. But I'm out. Peace out.